Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. All right. Our thread for this beautiful Sunday is, what's the worst thing you've seen happen at a wedding? Okay. What's the worst thing you've seen happen at a wedding? All right. We're going to jump right into our thread for today. Best man starts off speech with, I've seen the groom with a lot of girls over the year. You know the cliche speech where it goes on to say, but you're the best for him, etc., etc. Turns out the bride and groom were dating long before the best man even became a friend. Essentially outed him as a degenerate cheater. Oh, she was super pissed. Oh, shit. Oh, oh man. I hope that's not true. He was just like, oh, I've seen this guy with so many girls. And he's like, no, bro, no. No, you haven't seen me with any girls, bro. I've been with her the whole time. We've been friends. Bride and groom got in a huge drunken fight after the rehearsal dinner. It escalated to include shouting and name-calling between both families. Then the wedding got canceled the day of. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. That would be very embarrassing. Yeah, if you were like, got invited to a wedding and then out of nowhere it's just like, oh yeah, it's canceled. It's over now. Nope. Like, damn, we didn't even get past the we didn't even get past the rehearsal. The best man giving the toast at the reception and saying the groom's first wife's name instead of the current one. Oh, he said the wrong name. Dude. Good luck with that one. It started super late. It was super hot out. The future father-in-law was wasted and left before it started. He then showed back up in a red bathrobe and his gun? Cops got called. It was a whole thing. Oh, and then after the reception, we were all trying to convince one of our friends not to drive. He insisted he was fine. Drove his truck into the river.
Bruh.
What the fuck? Talk about the worst wedding ever. God. Like the father-in-law got hella drunk. That motherfucker left before it even started. Then he shows back up in a robe and he's got a gun and like the police get called. Oh, and then your buddy is just like, nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then you get a call like a couple hours later and you find out his truck is in the river. That is crazy. I went to a friend of mine's aunt's wedding. It was a second marriage for both of them, so they wanted something relaxed. They threw it on one of my family members' properties and had all the guests do grueling manual labor to get the property ready for the wedding. We were literally landscaping in the Texas summer. I was climbing trees to hang lights. We laid sod. We laid down stone for the walkway. My friend's mom cooked food for days, and we all made floral arrangements. We were setting up tables and chairs, you name it. We worked from 6 a.m. almost to midnight for 3 days. Finally, the wedding happens and it's beautiful. I was actually really proud of what we had done. It looked professional. We got to cut the cake and the couple is nowhere to be found. They just left without telling anyone and went back to their hotel. I was so offended by that because we worked so hard for them and they didn't even stay for the entire wedding. We never got a thank you or an appreciation for it. Other people were upset too and took their gifts back. Yeah. They were like, you ungrateful motherfuckers, you don't deserve this gift. Give me this shit back. Damn. They worked from 6 a.m. to midnight, 3 days in a row trying to get that wedding together, and they just couldn't wait to get back to the room. God damn. Yo, that's wild. Oh, I can see why they took back their gifts. Damn. Groom wanted cigarettes, so he snuck out and tried to drive to a convenience store a minute away, drove straight into a telephone pole and was arrested for a DUI and spent the night in jail.
Bruh.
Wow. What the? How many things have to go wrong for you to just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just go get a smoke, and all that happens? Like, what? Bro, that's kind of crazy. One of the bridesmaids was killed in an accident the night before the wedding. Saddest wedding I've ever seen. Oh my God. Wow. Oh, I know that had to have been tough. Oh, to have like one of the bridesmaids get killed in an accident the night before the wedding. Damn. I was at a wedding in a rural Wisconsin, and both the bride and groom were members of the local all-volunteer fire department. Almost everyone at the wedding proceeded to get quite drunk except the bride, who doesn't drink. At some point, there was an emergency call to the fire department. Not a fire, but a medical call. The wedding was not far from the fire station, so the bride rushed over and, along with another volunteer who was on call, drove an ambulance to an emergency call in her wedding dress. Damn. So they're about to get married, and out of nowhere they just bust a Kim Possible, and they're just boop 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 boop, and they're like, oh, we got a call. He's like, thanks for coming to the wedding. We appreciate you guys. We will continue this and probably another day. We got to go do shit. And they just went off and to save whoever. Like, dang, that's crazy. They said she drove an ambulance to a call in her wedding dress. Damn, girl. Had to break up a fist fight between the groom and the mother of the bride. No way. He was boxing his mother-in-law. No way, bro. I wonder what had to be said in order for the groom to be boxing his future mother-in-law at their wedding. Bro, what had to have happened? That's crazy. I was supposed to be the best man at a friend's wedding. At 7:30 a.m. the morning of the wedding, the groom called and said the wedding was off. It wasn't going to happen. I never talked to or saw the guy again. He signed up for the army, and within a few days, he was just gone. What? Huh. So he was supposed to be a best man. Then out of nowhere in the morning, he wakes up, and the groom is just like, yo, the wedding is done. It is gone. Peace and chicken grease. Goodbye to all y'all motherfuckers. Like, what happened? Something crazy had to have happened. Jeez. All right. The bride's grandmother killed over and died at the reception. No. Oh my God. Yo, his comment's kind of fucked up. Grandma really said, I saw everything. I need to peace out.
Bruh.
Hey, you harsh for that one, bro. Oh, you harsh for that one. That's fucked up. Oh my God. My brother's second wedding, for the first dance, the DJ played the wrong song for a half a second before stopping and starting the right song. The bride disappeared for 2 hours afterward because the wedding was ruined. Oh, come on. Just because the wrong song played for a second. Like, come on. Like, what are you doing? Again, these comments be wild. I wonder if he'll hire the same DJ for his third wedding. Bruh. Oh my God, it's fucked up. Yeah, because I mean, That's his second wedding, and it's already going that wrong. Damn. Maid of honor throwing up just as the officiant was asking if anyone objected. Oh, talk about bad timing. They were just like, if anyone rejects this marriage, speak now and hold their peace. And you just hear, and you're like, oh, wow. Okay. Do you object, or was this just something you had going on? Like, bro. Oh shit, the bride's water broke. Damn. Okay. All right. We got to the church and took our seats. Vibe was off, but didn't think much of it. Then the start time passed and nothing happens. Didn't think much of it. Finally, I said something to a friend next to us, something like, "Gee, this is late." "Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it?" "Huh, what?" "Oh, you didn't hear? The entire wedding party got food poisoning from the rehearsal dinner the night before. One bridesmaid, then another, then siblings, parents, bride and groom, everybody. They had a small ceremony at the bride's parents' house, no church ceremony, but a short talk from the pastor in part to kill time before the reception. They made a short appearance at the reception, but that was it. Just wholly unfair." Damn. I mean, like, why waste my time? You could have told me this and I would have stayed home. You know, like, why, like, bro, why would I drive out there? You know, that's what gets me the most. It's like, I'm driving out to see this wedding and I'm like, all right, cool. And then I figure out it's canceled and they already did something and the wedding's already over. It's like, then why am I here? You know, like, why am I here? What the fuck is going on? That would kind of upset me a little bit. The bride tripped and rolled down a large embankment and was covered in a grass stain. Aw, damn. That sucks. Hey, hopefully everything else went right. At my friend's wedding, the flowers wilted, wedding cake ended up on the floor, and some guy wrecked his Corvette in the parking lot of the church. Single car accident, ran over a tallish curb and screwed up the door pretty good. Impaired probably. Wow. Man. On the one day everything is supposed to go perfect, boy, it goes bad. Jesus. That is wild. All right. Bride was dancing during the reception, fell and broke her arm. Oh, lots of pictures from the ER photographer went with them. When the doctor heard he'd be setting the bride's arm, he put on a suit. They worked hard to get the swelling down so she wouldn't have to have her brand new wedding ring cut off. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. It was that bad. They were like, yeah, we're going to do everything we can so we don't have to cut this beautiful ring off. But it might get to that, just to let you know. Like, fuck. Jeez. Bride punched her new sister-in-law. Oh, my God. She got caught having sex with the bride's 17-year-old son in the kitchen of the church. This literally was Friday night. Yo. The bride was like, "You fucking whore. He's underage." Boom. And she was just like, "Oh, what the fuck? Who cares?" Like, this is at the wedding, mind you. This MMA fight couldn't have waited until after the wedding, you know? You could have maybe punched her ass out after. Like, dude, you had to do this during the wedding? God, that's crazy. Oh my God, my own wedding. My mother-in-law is an alcoholic and we asked her not to drink. My father-in-law and her ex-husband was with his new wife. Long story short, when we were wrapping up receptions, she is so drunk she tried to hit him with a bottle of champagne and missed and swung around and knocked herself the fuck out. Oh my God. You know, Sometimes those people got to be escorted out immediately. You know, like sometimes you got to catch that shit and be like, yeah, see, you know, you got to go. You're gone. Bye-bye. Because this ain't happening. Nah. Like, dude, nah, man, this ain't happening. That's crazy. All right, not a disaster, but funny. My wife and I booked a small hotel in Nicaragua for the wedding. I cue the music to start the ceremony. The music starts, and there's this long delay. All of a sudden, from around the corner, we hear, "My veil is stuck in the cactus." One of my best friends was the officiant, and there's a great photo sequence of us going from puzzled to hysterical laughter up front. That is funny. Just imagine, you know, you're just up there on the altar, you're waiting for your wife to come down, the music took a while to start, and because obviously the music is timed to the bride coming in, and everybody's just like, where is she at? All you hear down the hall is, "My veil is stuck to the cactus." And you're just like, oh god, can somebody go check on her, please? Like, oh my god. Hey, at least theirs wasn't ruined that bad. Husband making out with a bridesmaid on the dance floor. I know a portion of the friends there knew they had an open relationship, but I seriously doubt Grandma and Aunt Carol were in on it. Yo!
Bruh.
Facts. Oh my god. Oh man, Grandma and Aunt Carol like, yo, what the fuck's going on over there? Didn't he just get married to her? How is he macking on another girl already? What's going on here? They were flabbergasted. My goodness. To begin, there were sustained 40 below zero temps, so a lot of guests did not attend at the last minute. The mother-in-law and maid of honor and best man, who had just met the day before, disappeared for a bit, and the bride searched and found out they used the groom's parents' van as a place to have sex. Goddamn. Problem was that the maid of honor had just given birth to a baby a few weeks before, and she was hemorrhaging. Bride left with maid of honor to go to the ER. In the meantime, a huge percentage of the guests started getting violently ill. As it turned out, the beef was tainted. God damn. Oh. The health department shut down the center some days later, and all the guests had to be contacted to see who ate the beef. This is all first-hand factual info. I was there. I lived this. Thank God I ate the chicken. The couple divorced 18 months later.
Bruh.
I mean, I see why. Their wedding was fucking ruined. Now, she knew that she just had a baby and that she was hemorrhaging or whatever. And she still had sex? Like, what is going through your mind, girlfriend? What are you doing? Like, you know what's going on, and you out here just like, fuck it, I'll do it anyway. YOLO. Like, goddamn, man. Just, you ruined it for everybody. I can see why they divorced, damn near a year later. A giant brush-tall possum fell through the ceiling at my cousin's wedding. The bartenders managed to chase it with a broom into the supply closet behind the bar before calling security, who called pest removalists. Oh, man. That would be kind of scary, if I'm being honest with you. You're just like there, and you guys are, saying your vows or whatever, and I don't know, possum just falls out of the sky, and you're just like, what the fuck? And it's like, and these things they can get pretty big, they can get to be like the size of a cat. So that thing's just running around. Everybody's like, ah! Like, dude, wedding ruined. Jesus. A co-worker's wedding, the maid of honor made a 45-minute speech about moons and Mercury and crystals and how their astrological signs shouldn't have aligned, but they did, and that's because Neptune did a 360 no-scope. What?
Bruh.
She cut it short at 45 minutes and said, "I'm reading the room." What the fuck? This man. He said moons, Mercury, and crystals and how their astrological signs shouldn't, but they do because Neptune did a 360. What the hell, bro? Oh my god. And that's how it be, bro. That's how it be with these fucking like astrological people. Like nobody cares, man. No one cares if their signs didn't align or what. No, they're there for the marriage. They're there for the love and union of the families. Like, dude, come on, man. You went up there and you made that speech about yourself for 45 minutes. That's wild to me. Oh my god. But that is how people view people who talk about astrology. They're just like, "Oh yeah, you're just talking about Mercury, Mars, and how the signs should do this and do that, and but Neptune did a 360 no scope, and it's like nobody cares, man." All right. My wedding evening was wrapping up and I hadn't seen my new husband in a while. He had taken off to a local bar to continue partying with his friends without his new bride. My brother-in-law, as advised by my heavily pregnant sister, escorted me to find him somewhere. We were in our mid-30s. I'm daily grateful for my sister and brother-in-law in my life. Even more grateful, X is long gone. Oh shit. She kicked that nigga to the curb quick. Wow. She was like, "You went to the bar without me on our wedding night? Goodbye." She wasn't having that shit. God damn. My cousin married into a very religious family. During the after party, someone spiked the punch, so to rid the room of the sin of alcohol, one of the religious people sat at the table and punch bowl on fire? What? Set the table and the punch bowl on fire. Wow. So they literally were like, "This is the devil's juice. No, I ain't having that." And lit the table on fire. Like, excuse me? Like, what? I mean, hey, man, believe in Jesus and all that, and all you want, okay? But don't go burning my table and ruining my wedding over that. Damn. Like, what the fuck? Even Jesus flipped a table or two in his time. Oh my god, bro. You guys in the comments are crazy. Oh my Jesus. The groom got appendicitis the night before, got it removed the morning of, and still showed for the wedding itself. She had to prop him up while they had their first dance. I was amazed he made it through, but it was really such a wild and sad experience for both of them and cast a huge cloud over everything. They're divorced now. He ran off with an Instagram model / escort. They were my best friends. She's still my best friend, and I haven't seen her this happy before. I guess the appendicitis was an omen. Wow. And you're thinking like, man, nothing stopped this man from marrying this woman. God, he's a good man. He's like, yeah, oh God, this is great signs. And I don't know where it's like, homeboy just runs off with another chick. Like, it ain't nothing. Like, what? Yo, that's kind of wild. All right, we're gonna do like 3 more. Let's see here. As bride was walking down the aisle, organist hit every wrong note. My friend said to me, "This is the only thing you will remember about this wedding." That is until the bride's father, who was marrying the couple, introduced the newlyweds as his new son-in-law and slightly used daughter. You could have heard a pin drop. No fucking way. That is crazy. How would you do that to your own daughter, bro? At her wedding, he said, now here's to my new son-in-law and my used up daughter. Like, oh, no. No. You don't say that about your daughter, bro. What? I bet the groom was like, wait, what? Wait, used daughter? Wait, hold on, man. Me, you, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. Hold up, man. You know, what's up with this used daughter thing, man? What do you know that I don't know? You know what I mean? What do you know that I don't know? Because I'm getting some wild vibes here. Like, what's going on here? Because that would put a big on me instantly. Like, used daughter, what? Huh? Where? How? Oh, goddamn. I was a wedding photographer for 15 years, and shockingly, I don't have 1,000 crazy stories, but the time someone spilled red wine on a bride's dress during a cocktail hour probably takes the cake for me. Dang. Well, that sucks. That ruined her dress. Wasn't as juicy. That was kind of wamp. All right, I used to work at a wedding venue, so I've seen a lot of weddings, but none are even as close to bad as one in particular wedding reception was. Okay. People were getting way too drunk and wild. The place was a mess halfway through the party. After an hour before it was supposed to end, the brother of the bride got into a fight with one of the groomsmen in the middle of the dance floor. The father of the bride tries to break up the fight, but accidentally hits his elderly mother in the face, and she falls on a tray stand. My bosses burst into the room and break it up and yell for everyone to leave. The worst part was the bride in absolute tears leaving the venue. I just wanted one day. Facts.
Bruh.
Oh. They didn't give a fuck about that wedding, bro. Everybody was there to get drunk and get fucked up. That's what it was. Everybody was like, yeah, it's all about me. Yeah. Like, they didn't give a fuck, bro. That is wild. Oh, man. Hey, whew. God damn, weddings can be crazy sometimes, you know what I mean? God, I hope you guys enjoyed that thread. That was a juicy fucking thread. Man, we used to do wedding threads and scenarios way back. I mean, you would have to go to like episode fucking 3, and we're like episode 100 something now. So, yeah, I thought we'd, do a thread like that. A little homage now that the, show's got a bit of a fan base. We got some people who would like to write in and go through a thread like that. You guys got some crazy stuff. My goodness. Oh, whew. All right. We are not going to go into announcements. We are actually going to there's some stuff I want to talk about with you guys. Now, last Sunday, when I did the K-drama recommendation of Dr. Slump, I told you guys I was going to talk about Love is Blind Season 6. And boy, is Love is Blind Season 6 crazy. My goodness. Yeah, oh, my goodness. But before we get into that, though, I do want to talk about something that has actually come out recently, and that is Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Netflix recreation. I watched it, had some feelings about it, wanted to talk about it a little bit, maybe get you guys' opinion on it as well. I didn't think it was that bad. I really didn't think it was that bad. I didn't necessarily like it, because they did change a lot, and I can see why the original creators of the show dropped out, because they changed a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you, and they mashed a lot of episodes together. I think what they were trying to do is they were trying to cut down on like the filler episodes and stuff. But if I'm being honest with you, in the cartoon Avatar: The Last Airbender, I feel like the what is it? The filler episodes were like the world building and the character development episodes. All right. Think about it like this. First episode I thought was done really well, except for the end. And there was two things that they fucked up in the first episode. One, when Aang comes out of the ice and they take him back to the village and all that kind of stuff, they didn't go penguin sledding. All right. I was like, what the fuck, man? They went in the cartoon. They went penguin sledding. It looked cool. It was fun. It showed how Aang was like really, still childish and stuff like that. It kind of showed like his age, even though he's technically 100 years old. It's like he still has the mind of a 12-year-old. And then at the end, when he gets captured by Zuko, and then he escapes, right? And he's on his glider and Zuko shoots him down with the fireball. He does not get caught by Sokka and just flies off on Appa. No, that does not happen in the cartoon. What happens in the cartoon is he falls in the water and then he avatar states and he does like this big old whirlpool and, he like pushes Zuko's boat out into the ocean, out into the open sea, and then homeboy falls and they catch him. And I'm like, why are you taking out like these key moments in the show, that really like show subtle nuance in the characters and, it shows like small detail because it was a thing where the fact that you made it the first time Sokka and Katara see the Avatar state is with Gyatso when he finds his body and whatnot. Like it doesn't make sense. And I can see why they took Katara's speech out because when Aang found Gyatso's body and he was in the Avatar state, Katara talked him down. In this one, they just let that nigga be and he just calmed down on his own. Because this was their first time seeing the Avatar state instead of seeing it in the water where they should have seen the Avatar state the first time. That's when they should have seen it. And then it would have made sense to have the Katara talk down because they've seen this already. And so they're like, oh shit, I know what you're going through. I lost my mom. Da, 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 da. It made more sense because it's not their first time seeing it. And then I think that was another like character development moment for Katara. It was like it really helped create a connection between Katara and Aang, to where it's like, okay, you can see where a lot of the love Aang develops later on in the show for Katara. It's where he kind of gets it from. It's like, dang, man, homegirl will be riding out for me. She's there for me. She helps me out with things, blah, 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 whatever. And it's just these key moments just weren't there, and it was weird. And then you kind of move into they got to Omashu super fast, and you're just like they mashed. I want to say like 4 or 5 episodes together. They didn't do the pirates, that didn't happen. They like I said, they mushed together the pirate episode, the jet episode, as well as the episode where they meet the boy in the wheelchair and his dad that was the inventor. Now, with the pirate episode, they didn't do anything with the pirate episode. Katara just had the scroll. And if you remember in the cartoon, they got the scroll from the pirate. Gran didn't have the scroll. That's not how that went. I mind you. All right. Gran didn't have no waterbending scroll. No, Katara stole the waterbending scroll from the pirates. And that's where we first met the cabbage guy. That's where we first, we saw Aang's goofy side of. He was like, 2 copper pieces, 3 copper pieces. It's like, it's funny. You know what I mean? And then Zuko was also in that fight as well. And so it was like, these world building moments were just gone. They're not there. Then we fast forward a little bit into, this is even before Omashu, where they did the secret tunnel of lovers and all that kind of stuff. Where was that? They just showed up at Omashu. And it's like, you would think, okay, the secret tunnel of lovers, yeah, that was like the most filler episode of the filler episodes. But it was so lore packed that it made sense to have that episode in there. You know what I mean? Because think about it like this. It taught us that the Badger Moles were like the first ever earthbenders. It taught us that, like way back then, there were Earth tribes that were actually fighting against each other, but they actually coincided and became one because of these two lovers and their cave and all that kind of stuff. And then it was also Katara and Aang love development. Come on, man. I feel like with this new adaptation, it's like they're just going to automatically just be in love with each other. And it's like, but you guys did nothing building up to that. You guys built up no love, no attraction throughout your journey so far. So where did this come from? I'm very intrigued to see how they tackle that, because it's integral. It's a very integral part in the show that Aang and Katara have this, underlying love for each other, and that kind of stuff. And so I don't know how they're going to do that. Now, we fast forward with Jet and Smellerbee and all them. We never met them in the cartoon. They met them in the forest, and it stayed in the forest. They never really went to the city. And you know what I mean? Same thing with their plot. They changed the plot entirely. The plot was to use the blasting jelly to blow up a dam so that way they can flood the Fire Nation out of the city. But then they were like, well, if you're flooding the Fire Nation out of the city, then you're flooding innocent people out of the city too. And so then they stopped that. But they changed it to the boy in the wheelchair and his inventor dad, going to see the king, and then they swap out his box with blasting jelly, and then, Longshot was supposed to just hit it with a flame arrow. It was just so dumb because we don't meet the boy in the wheelchair and his inventor dad till far later on. And we don't meet them there. We meet them at one of the air temples. So it's like, how does this all make sense? Just think about it. Like, how does any of this make sense in the show? Like, I just feel like they just mashed so much together and was just like, here you go, and that's what I didn't like about it. Now, the cinematography, how they handled the casting, I think they can never get Sokka right. They can never get Sokka right. I think the original guy that did Sokka in the cartoon, that voice actor is unbeat, because he really created and sold the character of Sokka. Sokka is like that guy who is goofy. He's insecure. He is always trying to be something that he's not, but at the same time, he's very sincere. He's probably like the most honest person that you'll meet. He always means well, but he's just very goofy. And I feel like in this one, he's just awkward and weird. Like when he met Suki, it wasn't like he was goofy and they were being flirty. It was just, he was weird. And then Suki out here acting thirsty as fuck, acting like she never even saw a man a day in her life, which is probably true. I don't know. But it was just weird. Their love dynamic. I was just like, Suki fell in love with Sokka because he was goofy and he was weird, But in this one, I think he was just awkward and he was just weird. And I was like, is that supposed to come off as like, I don't know. That's my thoughts on Avatar: Last Airbender. I wanted to throw that in this episode. Just a real quick thing before we get into Love is Blind, because I got a lot for Love is Blind. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, cinematography, the casting, the characters and all that kind of stuff interacting with each other, really great. I liked it. It's just, they missed the point of the show, and they missed the key points of what made the show popular. And I think the filler episodes are what made the show popular. And I think they just really strong-armed, the writing team into saying, no, we're going to take all these episodes, we're going to mash it into one, make it work. You know what I mean? And it was sloppy. It really was. It was sloppy. It was poorly written. It was very rushed. It just seemed like it was going all over the place, and those episodes just didn't know what they wanted to be. They didn't know what they wanted to do with them, and I think that's why they give a lot of the episode names very arbitrary titles. There's just Omashu, And in the episode of Omashu, it's everything that encompasses Omashu all mashed into one episode instead of taking it slow, developing the characters, developing the world around the characters. And see, what I think they should have done is, instead of trying to do Avatar The Last Airbender, why not do after the cartoon? I think Netflix would have succeeded hugely if they would have decided to get the original creators in and say, okay, what happened after Aang and Katara kiss at the end of the war? It's all over, everything like that. What happened after that? Because I know there's comics, and I know, there's some media out there that tells the story of what happened. But I think if they would have brought that into live action, and they would have had more adult Aang, more of adult Katara, adult Sokka, we kind of figure out what happens to him and his family, and Katara and their family, and how they travel, and whatever, how things get to be the way they are in The Legend of Korra, and the legacy that Aang sets for that. I think if they would have done that, Netflix would have been on point. They would have been the most popular show. Why? Because it's something we've never seen. You're appealing to the old audience as well as a newer audience. Because think about it like this, man. The newer audience, they can just go fucking watch the cartoon if they want to catch up to, to that. And then us OGs, we already know what happened in Avatar The Last Airbender. So we're like, cool, we caught up. We can start watching the new and see what happened between Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. I think that's the direction they should have went. And the fact that they didn't go that direction is very stupid, in my opinion, because they had a golden opportunity to do something different, and they could have done it really well, especially with the cinematography, the amount of budget they had. They had a $120 million budget. The casting was really done well. I feel like the character chemistry was there to a degree, for as kind of like awkward and stiff as it is. But I think it would have fit in more of like an adult Avatar The Last Airbender, because think about it like this. If you're around my age, if you grew up, let's say 93 to 97, you grew up in that era, and you grew up through the 2000s and stuff like that. You're in your early 30s, late 20s. You remember watching those cartoons and all that kind of stuff. And the fact that Aang, Katara, and Sokka were young, they were our age, they were, 12, 13, 14, 15, around that age time. Now think about it like this. If Netflix would have did an adult version where they're adults like us, I think it would have been way more relatable, because now they're dealing with adult problems. They're dealing with kids. They're dealing with the world changing. They're dealing with, people around them and how life is changing, so on and so forth. Like, it would have been very relatable for the people who grew up with the cartoon of Avatar The Last Airbender. It would have been amazing. And then we would have had the trifecta. We would have seen everything that happened from when Aang got out of the iceberg all the way to when when Korra became lesbian and went into the spiritual world. Like, we would have seen everything. We would have seen Aang coming out of the iceberg all the way up until we, takes Homeboy's bending powers away and gets with Katara. Then we see what happens in the middle and how the world changes and how, technology evolves and inventions are, created and stuff like that. Because I'm sure Sokka had a lot to do with the inventions, just because he was really into, making the war balloons and designing like flares and new technologies for wars and the tanks and all that kind of stuff that we got to see on the raid of the Fire Nation and the day of the eclipse. And so, like, Sokka came up with a lot of those designs of the tanks and submarines and all that. And so, I'm sure Sokka had a big play in a lot of the technology that we saw in Legend of Korra. And then obviously Aang, he dealt with a lot of the more like peace maintaining, and that kind of stuff. It just would have been great, to see them grow up and them as adults like we are now, it would have been so much more relatable. And I think Netflix would have gotten, all the praises for that. Why? Because it's something we haven't seen. It's relatable, and they're not trying to live up to something that is already a masterpiece and perfect the way it is, So that's my 2 cents. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that in the comments, man. That was just something that I really wanted to get off my chest because I watched it and I was just like, man, I really like it, but it's got its issues and it has its flaws, especially if you're an OG watcher. Now, if you've never seen the original, then this is actually perfectly fine. It makes sense and it does a decent job. But you go and watch the cartoon and you're like, whoa, the cartoon's got way more, it is what it is. All right, let's get into Love is Blind season 6 before I go on a fucking bigger tangent. Jesus Christ. Okay, so Love is Blind season 6 is a little wild this year, and we have a lot to go over. We have a lot of cast members. There's a lot of juice that's been coming out lately, and your boy's been doing his research. All right, so we're gonna get into our first character. And our first character is Brittany. All right. She's the one that matched with Kenneth. And, she's the Southern belle, if you will. And, she's a very religious, God-fearing woman and all that kind of stuff. I really liked her throughout the show. I think she was a little disingenuous with herself once she saw Kenneth. You know what I mean? Because 100%, she definitely fell in love with who he is as a person and his mindset and everything. Like, she was like, wow, this is a guy that gets it. He's religious like I am. He's a good man. He treats me well, all that kind of stuff. And she just was not physically attracted to him, and it sucked because I was hoping that they would work out, but I was kind of getting a bit of a feeling, that she really wasn't feeling him like that, because they had a lot of awkward moments on I guess was it honeymoon? I guess it's honeymoon when they were out and wherever they were at, the resort, and they're on the boat, and then she has a real hard time with silence. I've noticed a lot of the time she think of it first happened when they were on the boat. All right, they're on the boat and Kenneth is not saying anything. He's just enjoying, the scenery, just taking it in, and she's just like in her head, like, oh my God, why is he not saying anything? What's going on? Does he not like me? Does he not want to be here? Is he bored? Am I not entertaining him? Am I not enough? You know what I mean? Like, so much you could just see it on her face was going through her head. And then once he said something about the dolphins, she was like, oh, thank God he said something. Oh, and it just weirded me out because it persisted. Even when they got into the apartment and she's putting clothes away and stuff like that, she kept asking him questions and things. And she has a real hard time with just silence, just being able to just sit in the presence of the person you love and the person, you want to be with, just sitting in the presence and just enjoying the moment. She had a real hard time with that. I felt so bad for her. I was just like, girl, you're good. Don't worry about it, But that was Brittany. Not much to say about her. I am glad that they did have a talk and they ended up splitting up because it was disingenuous to Kenneth, because Kenneth was just like, damn, she a beautiful girl. She is super sweet. She's everything that I want in a woman. She just has to understand that I have a lot going on in my life, work wise and all that kind of stuff. And I know that she has a lot going on. And I want to give her the space to deal with the things that she's got going on. And when, the time is right and our schedules align, I got you. I'm gonna cuddle you, love you, kiss you, But I just feel like since the physical attraction wasn't there for her, whenever the schedules would align, she's kind of like, ugh, and it is what it is. She's a great girl though. I give it to her. But, all right, on to our next. We got AD. All right. I don't know. AD, she disappoints me. And the reason I say that is because when she got into the pods, she told us about her type. and how her type was the athlete and the, loudest guy in the room and all that kind of stuff. And she's like, I'm looking for love. That doesn't seem to be working for me. I want to find a guy who's got a little more substance to him, so on and so forth. Da, da, da. And I think that's why she tried to make it work with Matthew, because Matthew was that polar opposite, as weird as Matthew was. We'll get into Matthew though. As weird as that nigga was, I think she was just like, this is different, this different for me. And I want to go for something different because I know that Clay is my normal. This is what I go for. I go for the loud guy. I go for the guy, who's the athlete and, he's wildly successful. He knows how to talk to women, all this, yada, yada, so on and so forth. And it just disappointed me because it was just like, damn, girl, you had an opportunity to kind of break that cycle and get into something different. And what did you do? You went right back into your cycle, and now you're with a guy that you normally are with, and it's definitely reflecting outside the pods. Like once they got into the real world, you could tell she was having a lot of points of contingency with Clay. And she was just like, dude, you don't know if you can see yourself being married. You don't know if you can see yourself being with one woman. Oh, all of a sudden you're like, instead of, dealing with the internal issues you got going on with yourself, you're just like, oh, my daddy. Like, bro, I don't care who the fuck your dad is. It's all about who you are. Like you can't use, who your dad was to blame, the mistakes that you're making in the relationships that you're in. It's like, dude, you're your own person. You could break the cycle anytime that you want. It's like, and I could see how AD was just kind of like, oh, fuck, and like, I understand, at the same time, Clay's mom had a good point. Sometimes you gotta step back a little bit and see it from both sides, you know what I mean? And be able to kind of, take that ebb and flow, you know what I mean? There's going to be times where he's going to act like that, and you kind of just have to take a step back and say, you know what, let me try to see, what we can do to come together and fix that. But you could tell she's fighting it, man. She fighting it. And that dude is, he's something else, man. Goodness gracious. He is something else. But that's AD. I do love her. I think she's, good. It's just, I mean, she's gotta, I don't know. Because, I mean, there's not much that she's really done wrong, but she does like to not really take accountability for things as well. When they were talking on their like honeymoon or whatever the case may be, and they were sitting there, and instead of like having Clay kind of own up to the things that he did, she just sat there and was just like, oh no, it's your family and how you grew up, and you need therapy and this and that. And it's like, no, what he needs to do is he needs to take responsibility for his fuck ups and the shit that he is saying, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you can't just put that blame on your family and the way you were raised and your dad. You can't put your blame on that. No. You need to take some personal accountability within yourself. And the fact that she was kind of giving him all these scapegoats was just kind of crazy to me, if I'm being honest with you. But I don't know, that's just how I saw that. Oh goodness. Sarah Ann, huh? Well, we all know that she didn't make it past the pods, but we do know that she was falumping around with Jeremy a little bit. And my biggest thing is I wonder why I think that Jeremy chose Laura over Sarah Ann because of the whole Botox and lip filler thing. And this is why he makes this very sarcastic like remark back to her, because she's like, oh yeah, like sometimes I feel like I'm making these faces, and I feel like maybe it's like my Botox or whatever. And he's just like, oh wow, you have Botox? She's like, yeah, I get Botox and I do lip fillers. And he was like, oh yeah, me too, I have lip fillers. And she was like, you do? And he's like, no. You know what I mean? Like he was expecting her to just be like plastic surgery'd out type shit. I really think that's what he was thinking. He was like, oh, nah, man, this girl's probably ugly as fuck in the face. Like she probably ruined her shit with plastic surgery. I think that's what he thought. And he was going into that like, I think I'm going to choose Laura because I don't know if I'm going to like what I see with Sarah Ann just from what she tells me. But I think once he saw that Instagram, he was like, oh, maybe that Botox and lip filler wasn't that bad. Goddamn. You know, and then the fact that she sent the text message talking about, oh, you know, if you're ever feeling like you made the wrong choice, like I'm here for you and all that. I was like, sweetheart, what are we doing here? Because goddamn, now I feel like Jeremy did the right thing, man. He was like, hey Laura, look, this is what she sent, you know. And then she wanted to get mad at him acknowledging it. That was weird as fuck within its own. I don't know what was going on with that. Yeah. All right, but that's Sarah Ann pretty much. There's not much to talk about her, but you know, we'll see when the next episodes come out. I believe on the 28th. Okay, then we jump into Laura. She was I don't know. Laura didn't really have too many memorable moments other than the fact that she loves to nitpick on the stupidest shit. What I noticed, like, she's a great girl and she's really cool, but I think there's two major things that are wrong with her. One, she loves to shit talk. You know, like she can't keep gossip from spilling out of her mouth to save her life. She's just got to talk about everybody, you know? And I think that's just so weird to me. Like she has to. She's like, oh my God, I need to talk about other people. And it's just weird, you know, because she did that at the little resort party where everybody saw. She did that there and got mad at Jeremy over it because Jeremy like outed her for saying that. And she was like, I didn't mean it. It's not serious. I didn't think you would do it. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, bro. And then Jeremy ended up saying sorry for that, which I thought was stupid. Like, bro, why are you going to say sorry for her fuck up? No, fuck out of here. I thought that was weird. Two, she was talking to Jessica and, you know, was getting the tea a little bit. And, you know, she had to be all up in that business. And I'm just like, what are you all up in that business for? You know what I mean? Like she just needed to talk about it. And that's just what I feel. She just has that drama bug. Two, her second thing is she likes to nitpick just the dumbest shit. You know, like she cannot get over Jeremy's Hawaiian shirts. I don't know why. Who cares? Who cares about his Hawaiian shirts? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I've seen Homeboy wear a Hawaiian shirt once. He maybe wore one time in the pod, maybe. But ever since then, I have yet to see this nigga wear a Hawaiian fucking shirt. And I guarantee you it's because of her. You know, I thought that was just weird. I thought it was dumb. And then when Homegirl was just like, oh, you know, it's all about how much you're willing to tolerate. And it's like, what do you mean? What is there to tolerate? It's fucking Hawaiian shirts. Get over it. You know, like it was, I see why she's single, because she just lets any little thing roadblock her from a relationship. She's just like, oh my God, you like this little thing? No thanks. And it's just like, bro, chill. That's very minuscule. And even when she wrote it down and the fact that she had all these pros and like barely any cons for a guy, you know, it made her feel stupid in a way. She sat there and was just like, wow, am I really going to like stop talking to this guy over a fucking motorcycle and Hawaiian shirts? No, I shouldn't. Now, the whole thing about Jeremy and Sarah Ann meeting up and all that drama, she's kind of justified on that one. Jeremy was he was a little sly with that. The fact that he had his location on and he left his phone in the car and left his car there, and he hopped in Sarah Ann's car and went to her house and all that kind of stuff. Hey, my nigga was scheming on that one, bro. Okay, that was a little... I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think she's justified in that one. That was kind of fucked up. All right, we're going on to the next one. Our girl, Jessica. Oh, man. See, okay. In the beginning, when Jessica and Jimmy were talking and whatnot. I already knew Jimmy wasn't going to choose Jessica because how she brought up the kid. I think that she brought it up completely wrong. And I understand. She was thinking from a woman's perspective and how a woman would take it and all that kind of stuff. Men, though, we want to know that up front. We want to know if you got a kid up front. You know, we don't want none of this like, oh, I want you to love me, and then when I drop this bomb on you that I have a kid, then you can love my kid too as much as me. And it's like, no, for a guy that will change the way he looks at you. And I think hugely, because that's why he sat there and was just like, oh, I don't know if she's going to have all this expectations of, you know, me wanting to be a dad to her kid. Or will she even want me to be a dad? Am I ready to be a dad? I feel like I'm ready to be a dad, but I don't know if she thinks I'm ready to be a dad. Like you could tell that was just the biggest point of contingency for him. He was just like, fuck, she dropped this bomb on me. Like, I thought Jessica was this cool, down-to-earth girl just looking for her man, you know? And then she said, oh, I have a kid. And it was like, oh, fuck. Like, damn. I felt like Jimmy looked at it like, damn, I'm too deep in and I can't just back out now or else I'm going to look like an asshole. And I backed out because she has a kid. You know, and he was definitely playing at morals. Oh, 100%. He was playing at morals, and he didn't want to look bad. He didn't want to look like an asshole, you know, for writing her off for having a kid and whatnot. And then, you know, Jimmy is a bit of a looks guy. So he probably thought, oh, man, you know, she might be on the little heavier side because she has a kid. And we all know that's the opposite. Goodness gracious. And the biggest thing, though, with her is I loved how about her man she is. You know, that is like music to a guy's ears, if I'm being honest with you. The things that she was saying, and I don't know if she's being honest with that or if she was doing it for the cameras or what. I don't know. But all I know is that what she was portraying and how, you know, she was going about like getting her dude, I was like, I like that. I would fall just for that. You know what I mean? Just getting to know that, and the more persistent she's being with it, it's just like, it's nice. Like as Jimmy, I would have felt like, damn, this is nice. This is how girls feel when guys pursue you. Damn, this is nice. You know, the fact that she was doing the pursuing, oh man, as a guy, that feels nice. And I think that's another reason why Jimmy didn't write her off automatically, because he was just like, fuck. This feels nice. This got your boy up on cloud 9. The fact that this girl's chasing me, you know, and she wants me, she loves me, blah, 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 blah. And talking about, you know, she thought about me, blah, you know, like, I get it, man. 100%. Because even I was like, psh, even if I didn't know what she looked like, I'd be down. You know, I'd be like, hey, you know, we could work out the kid thing. You know, like, we could work out the kid thing. Like, I like this. Like, if you keep up this energy throughout the relationship, I think your boy might be in for a treat. I like that, you know. But as far as what's going to happen, I can't wait for the barbecue. My God, I can't wait. Because it's going to get juicy. Oh, when old fine-ass Jessica gets in front of Jimmy, ooh-wee, it's gonna go down. I can't wait. Chelsea, you better, and we better get to her next. God damn. Now we got old Megan Fox from Wish.com. God damn. No. No, we have Chelsea. You know, everybody's been getting on her about the whole Megan Fox thing. And guys, let's be honest here. She didn't say that she looked like Megan Fox. She said that she got mistaken and that she doesn't see it, and she told Jimmy not to get his hopes up, but that nigga got his hopes up big time. He got his hopes up like crazy. He was like, what? Oh, damn. Oh, she must be fine as hell, you know? And it's like, come on, bruh. And I think he rode that piece of information all the way to the end. I ain't gonna lie to you. And then he saw her and was just like, oh, God. Damn. That's why he sat in that confessional talking about, she lied to me. She said she looked like Megan Fox. You know what I mean? Like, this nigga is shallow as a puddle. It is crazy. You know? But Chelsea does have her flaws in the fact that she does not deal with communicating very well. She starts off good, but she doesn't communicate very well. All right, think about it like this. When the whole AD situation was happening, when when Jimmy was talking about AD's butt, okay, and then she chimed in there and was just like, oh yeah, man, I would love to have a butt like that, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes with her girlfriends and she's just like, why would he say that? That is so uncomfortable. I only said what I said to like make it uncomfortable, you know? And it was just like, why give him that image of like, oh, it was cool for me to say that, you know? It just made no sense. And then when they got back to the place, she communicated to him, hey, that hurt my feelings, so on and so forth. He said sorry. And he was like, sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel that way. You know, I didn't think it came off that way. You even said, you know, oh, look at her butt, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I thought we were all vibing. My bad. I didn't know. And then she's just like, but I'm hurt. And it's like, what else do you want me to say to that, sweetheart? I said I was sorry. I acknowledged your feelings. I said, next time, I'm not going to do that so your feelings don't get hurt. What else do you want me to say? You know what I mean? And that's what I thought was very weird about her, because she does it again when they're in the apartment. And she's just like, oh, you know, you haven't kissed me all day. You haven't told me you loved me. Da, da. And he's like, I do love you. Like, you know, I'm sorry. I was busy. You know, I had things going on and whatnot. But, you know, doesn't mean I don't love you any less. And, you know, I got you. Don't worry. Like, I'll try to be a little more attentive to you. I got you, you know. And he was gaslighting a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you, all right? He was gaslighting. I ain't gonna let little Jimbo get away with it. Nah, little Jimbo was talking about, oh, but I bit my lip and and I'm like, come on, bro. Quit gaslighting this chick, man. But the thing is she communicated how she felt, and then he was like, oh, you know, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I'm going to be, you know, a little more attentive to you, whatever. I'll tell you I love you. I'll kiss you, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, yeah, but you didn't do it. And it's like, we squashed this. Why are you still on this? You know, it's weird because she like presses it so hard to where she's like, I want him to fight me back. You know, I want him to be the bad guy so bad. And it's just weird. And that's why I think like Chelsea and Jimmy's relationship, they're just two gaslighters just going at it. You know, like he's so used to gaslighting the girls that he's with, and she's so used to gaslighting the guys that she's with. Like he gaslights by gaslighting the girl into flipping it to where now he's the victim and she's the attacker. And then she is a gaslighter into like, oh, you know, I'm going to gaslight you into a fight so you look like the bad person, you know, and you can tell it's very evident by the way they talk to each other and the way they interact and all that kind of stuff. It's like when they talk to each other, they are just gaslighters, just bumping heads. And I'm just like, you guys are not going to make it past the altar. I guarantee it, because there's no way. Like, you guys communicate, but you communicate all wrong. And the communication is just not there. It's probably some of the poorest communication I've ever fucking seen in my entire life, if I'm being honest with you. But we will move on. All right. Then we have Amy. I don't have too much to say about Amy, if I'm being honest with you. Amy and Johnny's relationship has been pretty golden. The only thing I can say about her is that she is definitely not marriage and family focused, if I'm being honest with you. Like, Johnny kind of looks at it like, okay, with marriage comes family, and I need to start making some more smarter decisions and more maybe selfless decisions with how I spend my money. And she's kind of just balls to the walls. I want to spend as much money as I can make, and, you know, I want to experience it all. And it's not that Johnny doesn't want that. Johnny just looks at it like, I'd rather have all my ducks in a row and then we go do that. While she's like, I want to do it while I'm young, you know. I like, as far as the birth control thing, I mean, that's kind of stupid. That's Johnny's problem, if I'm being honest with you. Nigga, put a condom on and shut up. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. You know, like, why you gonna fuck up her hormones and make her fat over you potentially not want to have a baby? Nigga, there's plan B. Calm down. You know, like, it's not a thing where plan B is used as a contraception. It's just you practice safe sex, and then in those rare instances where the condom busts, or maybe a night you forget, whatever the case may be, plan B is there. You don't use it every time after you have sex, but in those rare occasions, it's there. It happens. It's why the pill exists. Like, come on, bro. Just saying. So, I mean, that's a whole I don't think that's Amy's problem. That's Johnny's fucking problem. That nigga's weird. But yeah, I think her problem is just that she is not really looking at the relationships or this marriage, if you will. She's not looking at this marriage as like, shit's gonna have to change, baby girl. And you're gonna have to be a little more conscious of your spending. And you know, he is very focused on family creation, and that's going to be something you're going to have to think about, you know, so we'll see how that goes. I'm excited to see how their relationship develops, but I definitely think that their relationship is going to make it past the altar, if I'm being honest with you. I really do, because a lot of their problems are very small, and they can work those out with time. Okay. We have Amber here. See, now, not much was said about Amber, but there was a lot talked about Amber. All right. And so apparently we got a bit of a video. All right. So.
Okay, so a lot of you guys have been asking me if Matthew ever found Amber. And here's the fucking gag. Amber allegedly also had a man the whole time during filming. I don't know what is going on this season. It seems like the criteria for going on this season was you have to already be involved in a serious relationship. But yeah, Amber done had a man this whole time. I even got an anonymous email about it. Trevor isn't the only one. Amber Grant had a serious boyfriend during filming and archived all their photos before the show aired. They are still together. I was told a bunch of the guys who were genuinely there were very interested in her, and she never once mentioned it. She left before the proposals, not because of Matt, but because she had an agreement with her boyfriend that she would leave at that time. This photo is from before filming, and I'm sure.
So yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to think about that. You know, Amber a little crazy. She didn't get much airtime, so that's why I found this video for her. And I was just like, I mean, you know, there's still a little more to the video, but I just wanted to kind of interject in a little bit. But yeah, a little crazy if you ask me.
Sure, after that NDA expires, I don't think she's stupid enough to like unarchive the pictures, but we're definitely going to be seeing recent pictures with this guy. But just know, when you see this face, that been her man. I don't know what makes these people think that nobody's going to find out, like that they're just going to get away with this. Also, I really don't get the point of going on the show and not planning on getting engaged to or proposed to, because usually Netflix doesn't even show the background people, like Amber and Jessica, like usually they don't show the alternative stories. So it almost seems like, okay, like because she was connected to AD and it was such like a juicy headline, like that he was saying the same stuff to both of them, that they included her. But there is a huge possibility that she wouldn't have been showed at all. So it's like, what would be the point of even going on this show? You know what I'm saying? To just be in a little background cooking scene or be in background, like, but yeah. That's the update on Matthew. I think that if he did find her, he found her with her man. We actually should probably check on.
Facts. So yeah, yeah, that's Amber. She apparently she wasn't looking for love, because to her, you know, love is fame and money. Like, this bitch didn't give a fuck about finding love in a husband and all that. Nah. She told her man, hey, babe, I'm going to go on Love is Blind. I'm going to get my little 15 minutes of fame. And then I ain't going to get proposed to nobody. I ain't going to accept no proposal. And I'm going to be popular on the show because I said no to a proposal, as to where like all the other girls would say yes. And then everybody's going to be like, oh my God, girl, why'd you say no? Blah, 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 blah. She's going to get some kind of fame out of this. Like, sorry, sweetheart. Nah. You thought nobody was going to look that shit up and find you? Like, come on, bro. Yeah. So, yeah. That's all we going to say on Amber. Like I said, man, I did my homework for this episode. All right. I ain't going to lie to you. I did my homework for this episode. And then we got this nigga Matthew. God damn, this motherfucker was weird. I was like, to me, it felt like he's never had a conversation with a woman a day in his life. I'm like, my nigga, you're 37 and you acting like you never had a conversation with a woman a day in your life. You know, now don't get me wrong. I thought it was kind of cool. What he did with the hey, I have 10 questions here. Go ahead and choose a number. And, the number coincides with the question. I thought that was really unique and I thought that was really cool. And that's something, I think was a good icebreaker in the beginning, because it's very light. It's very, fun. It's a bit of a game, you never know what kind of question you're going to get. You just choose a number. I thought that was really cool. And I think that was a smart idea on his part to break the ice. Amazing. It was just the conversations after that is what was kind of weird. I mean, he left when Sarah Ann was talking. He was like, God damn, this bitch talks too much. And he just left. I was like, wow, bro. God damn. Okay. And then he had this weird connection with AD, which I thought was just the fakest fucking connection I've ever seen. I think he liked her mainly because, he did most of the fucking talking. And he was like, cool, finally a girl that doesn't yap her fucking mouth off. And I guess that's what he was thinking. And that's why AD and him clicked. I don't fucking know. I think, I was like, AD don't like this nigga. AD is just like, this is a guy that just gives me attention and he's cool. But at the same time, like I said in the AD section, I think AD liked him and was trying to go for him because she was like, I don't want to go for the loud about athlete guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go for the normal guys that I go for. So I'm going to try, Matthew and see if something sparks there. And I think she tried to make something happen and it just didn't work. But yeah, Matthew, that nigga was just weird. And the fact that, he was talking to Amber too, I think it was a thing where Amber, since we know what we know about Amber, I think she was trying to get Matthew to propose to her and then, or like hurt her or do something crazy to her so she can get her little 15 minutes fame. And so that way she could walk off the show. Or she could say no to the proposal or, whatever it was. And so the fact that she got wrapped into the AD thing, and if I'm being honest with you, I feel like she made it up. Yeah. I feel like Amber made up the whole scenario between her, Matthew, and AD just so she can get more airtime and shit could be juicy. Because you have to understand, we didn't see any conversations with Matthew and Amber. Not one conversation. Not one. If you find a conversation between Matthew and Amber in the pods, clip it and send it to me. I'd love to be proven wrong. Or I guarantee you, I'm not. I'm about 100% sure we didn't see them talk at all. And the fact that we didn't see them talk at all was the fact that I think Amber made that shit up. Just to stir some drama, just so the camera would point her way. And that's why she was so quick to fucking leave. She was just like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I gotta go. I'm out of here. 100%, man. 100%. Psh, fuck out of here. And, yeah, Matthew, do better, brother. Do better. My man Kenneth. God damn, my man Kenneth. Jesus. I loved Kenneth. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. He felt like the most honest guy out of all of the guys, if I'm being honest with you, just because he just seemed very like he was a gentle giant, very down to earth guy, God-fearing man. He definitely was like, I'm looking for love. I'm looking for my girl, and I want a girl to accept me for me and not what I look like on the outside. Because he is one of those guys where, he thug exterior on the outside, but he is softy on the inside. He's just that way. That's just the way he is, and you see it in his personality. You see it when he talks to the guys. You see it when he talks to the girls. He's just that kind of guy. And it was just a thing where I feel like homegirl that he was with she couldn't see the physical, and it just was what it was, man. She was looking for something different. I'm sure she probably thought she was getting maybe like a fit black dude or something. I don't know, because they did talk like, she knew that he was black, so it's not like, she didn't know. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I don't know, it was just a big thing. And then you could tell he was very family focused, because of how he talks about like his job. And he's just like, I love my job, being a school principal is great for me. I love the kids, and yeah, they're, they could be bad and rowdy and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, I kind of look at it like I'm raising, my own kids in a way, you know what I mean? Like, this is how I'm going to raise my own kids, and I'm excited to have kids, and and, that's why, homegirl asked, oh, how many kids do you want? And he was like, oh, I really want 2. And she was like, oh, thank God, I want 2 too, and blah, blah, blah. And that's why they connected on just so much, because Kenneth is just a good guy, man. And I saw some TikToks on there where they were like, he used his principal voice to manipulate her.
Stop the cap.
No, he didn't. Not one bit. Like, get the fuck out of here. Send me some shit where he was manipulating her. Fuck out of here, dude. Are you kidding? He was so sincere throughout the whole show. Are you fucking kidding me? No. And I've seen multiple TikTok videos of, oh, Kenneth, how dare he, use his principal voice to manipulate her, blah, blah. Nigga, what? Because even at the end, he sat there and said, man, I hate that you feel that way. I love you and I care about you, but God must just have different plans for you and I. God's got a separate plan for you to find somebody who's right for you. God's got a plan for me to find somebody who's right for me. I'm not going to keep us in this relationship when it's obviously not working. And there are women on fucking TikTok and shit talking about, oh, he manipulated her and get that. Man,
stop the cap.
Fuck out of here. That man was a gentle giant. Kenneth, don't change, man. You great. Fuck what these bitches got to say. Fuck out of here. Now we got Jimbo. God damn, man. Jimbo. This man. He is just. He is the hugest red flag ever. Like we said in the Chelsea section, he is a gaslighter like a motherfucker. God damn, this nigga's a gaslighter. And I think he is that the way he is because the fact that this nigga had 2 female best friends, like, come on, bruh. I thought that was weird as hell. The fact that this nigga got 2 female best friends, like, bro, okay. That's a little weird. That raised a little red flag with me, if I'm being honest with you. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm sure some of the ladies it did. They're just like, what? 2 female best friends? Like, put yourself in Chelsea's shoes. How would you really feel, Like, Chelsea played it well. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I can guarantee you Chelsea was a little uncomfortable with that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like Chelsea was a little uncomfortable with that. She was like, I don't know how you feel about that, And then, I said a lot about Jimmy in the Chelsea section. I'm just waiting for the new episodes for him because I guarantee you at the barbecue, man, this man is going to fold. He is going to fold when he sees Jessica. He's going to see Jessica's fine ass and be like, oh, Jesus. I guarantee you he's going to walk up to one of the guys and be like, damn, I fucked up. I chose the wrong girl. I guarantee it. I'm saying it now. On that episode, I guarantee you, he's going to walk over to one of the guys and be like, damn. He's like, I fucked up. I chose the wrong girl. 100%, bro. 100%. I'm saying it now. I can't wait, man, because this dude right here, he's a menace. Chelsea, and I think Chelsea sees it coming. because Chelsea knows, what Jessica looks like and how intense their relationship was and everything. Like, come on, man, trust me. All right. Oh man, we got the man Clay himself. This guy right here, I give it to him. This man is a player. God damn, this man is suave, he's smooth, and he know how to talk to women. This guy is Mr. Tell You What You Want to Hear. God damn. This nigga is Mr. Tell You What You Want to Hear. Everything that comes out this mouth, he knows it's what AD wants to hear. But is he going to be that? I don't think so. He acting like he's like reformed and, I cried and yeah, man, I'm really in touch with my emotions, and all this type of shit. Man, I can guarantee you this is the playbook at hand, bro. He is going through the playbook, going through the motions, and AD is falling right into every single point. This man is cold. He is calculated. He is a player all day. There ain't no way this man is being sincere. All right. There's just no way. He saw that fat dumpy and was just like, cool, I'm about to whip the playbook out and we about to be on like Donkey Kong. And then he's already talking about how, marriage is kind of scary. It's forever. And I don't know if I could be tied down to one girl. And he's showing signs, man. He's showing signs. Hey, he's a great guy. He's obviously, very successful and in what he does, and he does his thing and whatnot, but he a player, man. He a player. Let a player play, And I think he's another one of those. He went on this show just for the glitz and the glam, and he wanted to, and that's why he's playing this character. He's doing it for the glitz and the glam, and he wants to look like a good guy. That way, when he says no to AD at the end, or if AD says no to him, or whatever it may be, he still got the fame and notoriety out of it. The writing's on the wall a lot of times. You know what I mean? And you really got to look at the person's actions versus what they're saying, because he's already done that a lot. And with AD, just in the conversations, because there's so many times where he backtracks himself, when they were sitting down and having the conversation at the bar, he was telling her like, oh, you put me in my place and, you helped me out with these things and you really, make me feel like a better man, blah, blah, blah. And then when they were sitting at the little restaurant and they were having the food or whatever, then all of a sudden his tone changed. And he's over here like, oh, like, I just don't know if I could do marriage. Marriage is forever and it's a big thing and this and that. And, AD is looking like, nigga, didn't we just have a conversation about like, being in this and, doing this forever, and I was going to be by you and you're going to be by me, and I put you in your place and all that. Well, what happened? So he's a little flip-floppy, but I think it's all in the playbook, man. I really do. We'll get on to our next guy. Oh, buddy. We have our boy Trevor. Now, if you've seen in the video about Amber, they said that Trevor also had a little relationship dealing, So we're going to go ahead and get into that right now and his little relationship dealing.
Why does this keep getting worse? Reality Ashley is reporting that everybody's favorite teddy bear, Trevor, was in a serious relationship while he went to go film Love is Blind Season 6. I swear to God that the requirement to be on this show nowadays is like to be a terrible human being. Now I don't feel bad that Chelsea didn't pick him. I'm sorry, Chelsea. I'm sorry, Chelsea, for saying that you fumbled, because you dodged a bullet here. Look at these text messages. He says, I love you so much, honey. I'm excited for it, but I'm excited to get back to you and start our life together. Did you get my text? She says, did you land? Just did. Did you find other people on the plane going to the show? So the girlfriend knows he's going on Love is Blind. Said, yes, me and the other guy established why we are here, and we agreed that we were not going to get married. Texts her, says, do you still love me? I'm crying. Can I call you in 30 minutes? I missed you. I love you more than anything in the world. I'm gonna marry you. Then he goes on to talk about Chelsea, saying she left me on the last day for another guy. Her name was Chelsea. Then goes on to talk about his dog, who is also named Chelsea, saying she passed away today. Says, yeah, the girl who was my final match was named Chelsea. I gave her Chelsea, the dog's collar, as my item. I hope you know how much I love you, and I had to pretend that this wasn't real life and to say anything I said. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Yeah. So, our boy Trevor here, sadly, him and Amber were trying to pull the old okey doke and, get their 5 minutes of fame while having significant others. And he had everybody fooled. I ain't gonna lie to you. He had me fooled. He had y'all probably fooled. And it's crazy because all of this is coming out and I don't know how to feel about Trevor being in the next upcoming episodes, because if you saw in the preview, him and Chelsea actually have a bit of a conversation, and Chelsea is just like, oh, you're my normal type and all that kind of stuff. And Trevor is over here talking about, oh yeah, you never stop being my one, blah, blah, blah. So are you still with the girl, or did you go to this barbecue and you were dating her at the same time? Like, I don't know. It makes me look at him and it's just like, bro, I don't give a fuck about you and your involvement with Chelsea and Jimmy's relationship. Like, I'm like, I don't care anymore. Like, at least with Amber, she's gone. Amber's not coming back. I mean, she might come back on the barbecue. She might. Matthew even might come back, but I highly doubt they will. I don't know. If they do, they'll probably get very, very limited screen time. But yeah. And those were text messages. I mean, all you audio listeners, go to YouTube and, go to what? I don't know, maybe an hour 28-ish timestamp. And there's text messages. Like this ain't just some girl in front of a camera talking some shit. There's text messages on the screen. Like, that's why I'm including these videos, so that way you guys don't think I'm just talking out of my ass. Like, nah. And then these people, they got the proof, so I'm just reporting the proof. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah, craziness. A little craziness, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about Trevor. I'm like, fuck that nigga. Oh, man. If you didn't think it was that bad, Jeremy is our next guy up. And yeah, he's got a little bit of juice following him too. So let's go ahead and get into that.
You guys, the tea is piping fucking hot tonight because allegedly Jeremy applied to be on Love is Blind season 6 while he was engaged. The ex-fiance's mom just posted this photo in a Facebook group. There's Jeremy, there's the ex-fiance, and there's the ring. Let me tell you what I know. So upon digging through the millions and millions of comments, somebody said, where did you find this? And the mom said, in my phone. That's my daughter and grandson. Mom then goes on to give more details and say, he just moved out at the end of 2022. They filmed February or March in 2023. They had just sold their home. So you guys remember that little scene where Jeremy is telling Laura he sold his previous house and didn't buy a new house because he wanted like his new wife to like pick where he lived? Yeah.
That was Cap.
Failed to mention that house he just sold was with his ex-fiance. The mom then again says, Jenny, that's the mom, she says they are absolutely not together since selling their house in 2023. And this is the ex-fiance under Laura's photos saying, did he ever tell you about his ex-fiance from right before you? Surely not. Or the house we sold a week or two before he filmed for this show? Just want all the info out there. You and Sarah Ann should know. I'm happy to share proof. I did message her, but y'all know I did. So She also goes on to say, peep the video of Layla and him in the snow on his Instagram. That was at our house, and that's me recording the video and talking. So it appears that they had just broken up right before he went to film Love is Blind. So technically he was single when he filmed the show, but he was still living with his fiance when he applied for the show. Because you have to take into consideration, it takes time to get casted. You apply, and then you go through the whole casting process. That's basically what the mom is saying. Someone was engaged in living with somebody when he applied for the show, not when he filmed the show. Netflix, how about you make sure that people are at least a year single? At least a year single. Like, if they're ready for marriage and blah, 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 at least a year. I really think a man who just sold his home with his ex-fiance is ready to get married? Like, come on, this is a joke. I thought his new house looked like an Airbnb on this week's episodes. This is crazy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. After this week's episode, I don't put it past Jeremy. I mean, we've seen this before, right? You guys do remember that Milton had a girlfriend that he broke up with to go on the show, as did Chris, as did SK. Like, it's a revolving door at this point. Add Jeremy to that list. Okay, he didn't break up with her to go on the show, but he went on the show after they just sold their marital home and applied while he was still living with her.
Yeah, so, yeah, there's that. Yeah, man, Jeremy, brother, you was something else, man. And then, like I said, when we were in the Sarah Ann section, it was either Sarah Ann or it was Laura, one of the two sections. He out here messing with Sarah Ann. I don't even think he really give a fuck about Laura that much. I don't think they're going to even get to their wedding day, if I'm being honest with you. I highly fucking doubt they will. Just because, just the fact that, like, he went through such lengths to see Sarah Ann, I guarantee you he got him some booty that night. The fact that you left your car there, you left your phone in the car, so it made it look like you were in the parking lot just so you could go to her house. You most likely got you some booty. You was there till 5 in the morning. Like, come on, nigga. You got you some booty. Stop, because in the pods, y'all was talking real sexual, and he was just like, oh, that's something I'm pretty confident about, And she was like, oh, really? Oh, okay. All right. I mean, let me try that out, So the fact that they were already very sexually charged in the pods, it's undoubtable that they smashed that night. Like, let's be honest. So I'm excited to see where their relationship goes. I personally do not feel like they will even get to the marriage. I don't even think they're going to get to the wedding. Laura's probably not even going to try on dresses. I just don't think they're going to get that far. I feel like once the once the stuff comes out that they most likely smashed that night and whatnot, I think he's just gonna go with Sarah Ann, and that's gonna be that. So, all right, and then we got our last guy, Johnny. There's not much to say about him, man. I actually really like Johnny. I think he's a good dude. Like I said, the only weird thing that I have about him is, like, just put a condom on, nigga. You'll be all right. There's plan B. You'll be straight chilling. Your girl doesn't absolutely need to be on birth control. I get it. You trying to cream pie. You trying to nut all kinds of nuts in them sweet walls. I get it, bro. I get it. Amy's gorgeous. She's a cool chick. But, if you're not trying to have babies at that moment, hey, condom it up, brother. That's just all you got to do with it. You know what I mean? But, oh, man. But, yeah, that's my thoughts on Love is Blind. Season 6 so far. We're definitely going to do another episode, but I'll probably wait until the last episode, and then I will, on a Sunday of the last episode, we'll go ahead and, recap everything up again, and we'll do another episode like this. But I've been going for like an hour and a half. I had some scenarios set up, but we're going to go ahead and have to move those over to the Tuesday show. I do apologize. This is going to be the end of today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Again, if you want to see the videos and the text messages and the proof of all the stuff that's been going on with them, and, with Trevor and, Amber, I think it was, and all that other nonsense with Jeremy and everything, watch the video, youtube.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Am I the Asshole Podcast, all one word. I didn't even do announcements, so we're going to do them now before we close out. Patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Get on the Patreon. $3 a month gets you an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send your scenario into the show. I do apologize to my patrons for today. We did not get to that. I am already very, very over time. So I'm probably like 40 minutes over time right now. So I do apologize for that. We will get to you guys on Tuesday. Yes, TikTok as well as Instagram. Thank you guys so much for all the support, man. TikTok's blowing up. We're at like 4,200 subs or something like that. Hey, you guys are killing it. You guys are killing it in the followers. Thank you guys so much. We're almost to 5K, which will hopefully by June time, which is your boy's birthday, we should hit that coveted 10K. That would be an amazing birthday present. I hope we can hit that. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the support. Again, if you want to see the proof and all that kind of stuff, head over to YouTube. There's text messages, all that, videos, and it's up there. If you would like to catch all the clips and all that kind of stuff, again, TikTok, Instagram, and that should be it for you, boy. I love you guys, and peace.